Hey everybody, this is Sam from College Dropouts and welcome to a Butcher Build Guide. In this guide we're going to discuss the role the Butcher plays, the abilities he has, some recommended talents to pick, and some tips and tricks to tie everything together. Click now to skip ahead. Let's begin with discussing what the Butcher does in game. The Butcher is classified as a melee assassin with a major emphasis on dealing damage in the front lines and sustaining through it. With that heavy sustained damage, the Butcher is great at ganking, engaging, and melting other heroes. Ganking is a tactic in which you surprise an enemy hero and open up an opportunity for a kill. Engaging is when you start a team fight. Although sounding trivial, knowing when to go in and picking the right target requires lots of practice. Melting is when you focus all your damage onto a single target and quickly take down their health. With your team as backup, you can easily kill any hero, no matter what their role is. Now that we know what the Butcher does in fights, let's see how his abilities are tailored to how he's played. The Butcher's Q is Hamstring, which deals damage and slows enemies for 2 seconds. It also causes the next basic attack to strike immediately. His W is called Butcher's Brand, which deals damage to an enemy and marks them, causing basic attacks against marked minions to heal for 75% damage, and basic attacks against marked heroes to heal for 150% damage. It too causes your next basic attack to strike immediately. The Butcher's E is called Ruthless Onslaught, in which you charge at an enemy, becoming unstoppable and gaining movement speed. If you hit the target, you deal damage and stun them for 1 second. His first heroic option is Furnace Blast, which after a 3-second delay, deals massive damage in an area around you. This can also be cast during Ruthless Onslaught. His second heroic option is Lambda the Slaughter, in which you throw down a post that catches the nearest enemy hero after a 1-second delay. This deals damage and chains them for 4 seconds. The Butcher's passive trait is called Fresh Meat, in which nearby minions drop 1 meat and heroes drop 3 meat upon death, which stack to increase attack damage by 1% per meat. There is a maximum meat count of 25 and all meat are lost upon death. Now that we know the Butcher's role and the abilities that he has, let's pick some talents to complement them. At level 1 you have the option between Invigoration, Block, Chopped Meat, and Victuals. Of these 4, I recommend picking Victuals, which heals 3% of your max health when collecting meat. It also keeps meat dropping after your stacks are full. With this, farming a contested lane becomes less dangerous and you can sustain more in teamfights without having to back or fountain as often. With level 4, you have the option between Flail Axe, Cheap Shot, Unrelenting Pursuit, and Envenom. Out of these, I would recommend taking Flail Axe, which increases the length of Hamstring by 40%. With this extra range, you can pick off fleeing enemies with low health and affect more targets with your slow for an easier engage and an easier escape. With level 7, there's Brutal Strike, Insatiable Blade, Abattoir, and Final Assault. Of these, Abattoir is the best option. It increases your maximum number of fresh meat to 35 and makes it so you only lose half upon death. This means that your basic attacks deal 35% additional damage and you can spend less time farming each time you die. It also stacks nicely with future talents. With your level 10 heroic, you could pick between Furnace Blast and Lambda the Slaughter. Both of these are great options, with Furnace Blast being focused around dealing more damage and Lambda the Slaughter focused around zoning out heroes. Take whichever you need more of here, but my personal favorite of the two is Furnace Blast. The damage it does works great against squishier targets, and I've found that it secures more kills than Lambda the Slaughter does in the long run. With level 13, you can pick between Burning Rage, Savage Charge, Crave Flesh, and Spell Shield. Among these, the best of them is Crave Flesh. Crave Flesh gives a 30% movement speed buff when an enemy is marked with Butcher's Brand. This allows you to either stay ahead of them just enough to keep auto-attacking them and kill them, or gives you that extra speed needed to get away. A nice perk of this is that it allows you to keep up with the boss so you can continually auto-attack it and wear it down before it ever even reaches your fort. At level 16, you have just 3 options: Crippling Slam, Enraged, and Blood Frenzy. The best among these is Blood Frenzy. This is where the Butcher hits his biggest power spike. Blood Frenzy causes each second meat the Butcher has to increase his attack speed by 1%. Coupled with Abattoir, the Butcher's attack speed is increased by a total of 35%, causing him to hit 1.5 times per second at max meat. This is very significant because the Butcher hits upwards of 600 damage per hit at full stacks, so in 2 seconds, the Butcher does over 1800 damage on auto attacks alone. With Butcher's Brand on a target, the Butcher can easily dive into a battle, mark a target, melt them, and get away, and oftentimes come out unscathed. At level 20, you can pick Fires of Hell, Slaughterhouse, Nexus Blades, or Bolt of the Storm. Here the best choice is Nexus Blades. Nexus Blades cause basic attacks to deal an additional 20% damage and slows the target for 1 second. The damage stacks with the damage bonus from fresh meat, causing you to deal 55% additional damage at full stacks, while the slow helps you secure even more kills. So with all that said and done, this is the build we're left with. It provides added sustain opportunities and less harsh deaths for new Butcher players, but also leaves you with enough damage for veterans to still carry a game. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you build the Butcher a different way. Now let's finish this guide up with some assorted tips and tricks. The first tip is to never stop farming meat. The Butcher scales hard off his stacks of meat, so in order to maximize his effectiveness in a fight, be sure to keep the stacks as full as possible at all times. This means taking a minute to farm after a death, and ensuring that your team knows you'll be missing for a while. Next, the Butcher is great at engage. If you want to ensure a kill on almost any enemy hero, be sure to do this combo. Proccing your heroic, charging in, auto-attacking, using Butcher's brand to mark an enemy hero and get another auto-attack, then using Hamstring to slow them and get yet another auto-attack, will shred any enemy hero in seconds. It will also ensure that you have enough sustain during the fight so that you won't instantly get bursted. Commit this combo to muscle memory and you will do great in any engage. Q early, Q often. The Butcher's only ranged attack is Hamstring, and it's both a great way to secure a kill or help you or your teammate flee from a fight. It costs little mana and has only a 4-second cooldown, so don't be afraid to use it whenever possible. Its damage as well as the extra auto attack it gives you can also come in handy. And finally, like a fanboy from some fruit company, stick to the brand. In a team fight, your main source of sustain is going to be attacking the person you branded with your W. Try your best to focus your attacks on that person as they will feed you health. However, this means you have to trust your team is doing damage to everyone else. But as long as your team is competent and knows the power of the Butcher, you should be able to easily come out on top in any team fight. I want to thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out my other build guides down below and leave a comment saying who I should do next. Also, if you found this build guide helpful, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more guides like it. Peace out.